The thunder rolls. Good morning, Kimber.
Good morning, Glenn.
How are we doing this Monday morning?
Oh,
Ooh,
we've got
second
intense
one.
thunder.
Yeah.
You know, it's a really good Monday.
Awesome. Yeah, love
Yeah,
to hear
how
that.
about how about you?
It's going good. I mean, the day's young, but so far no complaints. I'll take it.
The day is young. The move it vulnerability victims are pouring in.
They are. Yeah. It's. I guess it's that time. We've had a few days. Yeah. So that's the big lead in. Is well, first off, before we get to move in,
Yes.
Kimber, tell us about yourself and your role at Gray Noise.
Well, I am a I'm Kimber. I'm a Gray Noise product manager, and I started with Gray Noise on the research team, which is now known as the Gray Noise Labs team.
Yeah.
And I am such a nerd about the internet and cybersecurity and SOC management and all kinds of things that Andrew Morris was like, what if product manager? And the rest of the gang was like, yeah, let's try it. And it's been great. It's been wonderful packaging up Gray Noise data and figuring out what can help people out in their environments. So that is
Yeah,
my
and I
role.
think we'll get to a little bit I think later, but you've had some big releases in your shortish tenure.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think everyone appreciates that.
Yeah. It's been fun.
Yeah, so the big news of last week, not surprising, was the Move It or Move IT vuln, whichever you prefer. I think we just like making Madagascar jokes, so it's all Move It, Move It. So that started as a advisory on the 31st, which I don't was that Wednesday, I think. Um, Advisory from Progress, the manufacturer, the software maker, vendor of the Move IT software, and was a vulnerability in the database that allows for unauthorized access. So we were able to start digging into that pretty quickly, thanks to our community raising that flag for us pretty quick. And the cool thing that we found, we published a blog about it, but um, there's a lot of information out there as it was kind of evolving early on, and based on what Gray Noise was seeing in our data sets of scanning activity going back several months was, there were IPs that were looking for specific pages related. So it's the human, which cracks me up that there's a page called human, but whatever. Human.aspx going back to March. So in our 2 cents, in our analysis and opinion for folks that are responding to this phone was to make sure that you go back about at least to early March for signs of compromise, since there was at least some activity looking for some relevant or related pages for this. So that was fun. But as you said, looks like this morning some of the victims are
Yeah.
disclosures are starting to roll in.
Yeah. I saw that Sky News posted about uh, British Airways and
Hmm.
employees in the UK. It says like 34,000 people are employed by British Airways in the
Oh wow.
UK. And it it said something about a disclosure. It that is also includes Boots staff, and that's like a little kind of like a Walgreens in the UK, right?
Yeah, yeah,
And I guess maybe that was through like a payroll provider. So I thought that was the interesting thing about the move it. It's primarily, financial transfers, right?
yeah. I was trying to see. I'm trying to bring up. We have our dashboard here, and is it? There we go. And so this is from our scanner tag. And when we made the scanner tag on Friday, when we were testing it, we were finding mid 30s of IPs that we're scanning. And then, of course, that jumped up pretty quickly, and it's kind of holding steady, at least over the weekend, about 63. So, these are the folks that are the IPs again. I'll stress it every time, but the Gray Noise infrastructure are honeypots that are out there and they're unadvertised and they are basically stumbled upon. So therefore, like when we're seeing activity, what we're seeing is attempts of mass scanning, mass exploitation, mass whatever, right? Because they're just kind of throwing it out there, casting a wide net, looking to see what happens. And um, for this is just for what folks are scanning for. This is not the actual exploitation. However, it is still being, or the pace is picking up quickly as far as what people are looking for to keep on
Yeah,
their
I
hunt.
think it's always interesting to frame it as when you see the exploitation happening on gray noise, you're kind of getting like the dregs, the
Yeah,
sleaze, the like people who sold their scanners on the dark web and or just like opportunistically, they're like the jumpers on. So it's always fun to see. I mean, fun for us because we're not the ones on the front lines, right?
yeah.
To see how much that like that line goes
Unfortunately.
up. But it's just it's kind of pretty quick in this case. So
Yeah, and we'll see. We'll continue to track it, especially as we get more information about the exploit itself, and see what more specific we can identify. But yeah, this one escalated quickly. I know. I think the official advisories are pushing out earliest known exploitations to early last week, like 27, 28, something like that. So it's not surprising that, of course, like those would be more targeted. This was obviously a pretty good exploit that an organization was sitting on, or an actor was sitting on, and so early days, it stays pretty targeted. I did see also, at least I saw it last night. I'm not sure when it was released, but Microsoft did some attribution for the
they
exploitation of this
did.
vulnerability, and it's a pretty good read. I would It's too much to kind of talk about here, but hit up, just you can just go to the Twitter actually and get a good thread of it. But um, there's some good attribution and thoughts on that. So
I
pretty interesting. Yeah.
I have to say, like, the amount of collaboration that I saw on this one was really cool. I saw not only collaboration among the gray noise community, I got reached out to from a couple of people. Shout out to Shell for the early alert on this one to me in particular.
Nice.
And then I also, participated in information sharing groups and saw them, sharing links, sharing remediation information. And I think that in particular is so important for stuff like this because that's kind of all you can do is like, here's the version you need to be safe. Like, what's your plan for fixing it? Who's screwed over the weekend as you're patching? And in particular saw some state government people, reacting to this very quickly. And when it's something that's definitely internet facing, a file transfer software has to
Uh,
be internet facing, and it's something that might not get updated very often for fear of it getting broken,
yeah.
or like compatibility issues or
Or high
things like that.
availability. Yeah.
Yeah, yep. So it was just really really neat to see all of that.
Yeah.
The other neat thing for me, I always run IOC lists through Gray Noise, and I love it when we catch things. So
Yeah.
we caught 2 IP addresses that have been shared around as IOCs on this so far. Maybe we'll see more as time goes on. Hopefully not, because everybody will be safe. But also, just those were both on DigitalOcean,
Oh,
so
nice. Yeah.
yeah, kind of different than normal.
Yeah, we do talk a lot of crap. When things happen in our community that are, maybe silly vulns or silly incidents of people or organizations not doing their due diligence to take care of their infrastructure. And that drives us mad a lot of the times. But we do also see a lot of kind of what you just hinted at there, which is when something does happen that is, pretty earth shaking or pretty impactful, we do get to see how often our community is able to, join hands and work together and share information, and how fast we're actually, capable of responding to these things as a holistic group. And that's really refreshing and kind of like, spiritually uplifting at times for us.
It
So
is,
we have the yin and the yang, I guess, of
yeah.
the whole
I think
industry.
we're gonna hit people with the warm fuzzies here on the Monday, Glenn, because like as Twitter becomes more of a dumpster fire, like those information sharing communities like become even more and more important. Like I think the Gray Noise community, shouts outs to them. They're wonderful and great and very, very quick on the draw, like insanely quick on the draw, which is super valuable to us, but not like also other members in the community. And then information sharing groups are awesome. Like just those kind of smaller, more private communities, I'm realizing like you get to know some really cool people, but you also get to find out about things before anybody else. And it's like, well, maybe Twitter dying isn't so bad.
We have our own like reality show in this industry, basically. Yeah. And on that note, we are, we have a lot of partners that we and community members that we work closely with, and absolutely, if you come across a vuln, or you have a POC or whatever, and you want to talk about it, or share it with us to see if there's some exploitation happening or whatever, just reach out. We can kind of operate across all levels of the traffic level protocol, per se. So we are happy to help where we can help.
Yes.
Sweet. Well, yeah. So we will continue to watch Move It this week and see where this journey takes us. And I think from there, how about what's new in the product world since
what's on the product horizon?
Yeah.
So, I mean, we have Gray Noise Labs, and y'all write tags, but like you're detection engineers.
Yeah.
That's not all you do. Like y'all are fairly in-depth nerdy. Not only do we have reverse engineering skills on the team, but we also have like a huge amount of data science power, to say the least.
To say the least, yes.
The team has been diving deep on AI things, all kinds of stuff.
I don't know if you've seen Morris's tweet, but he's slowly leaking our master plan over here. So
yeah. So we've been working with Labs. Labs has been being very proactive about having a lot of things to show the public and just be like, hey, look at this cool stuff that we dug out of the data set. And some of this has been a long time coming. And some of it has been more new, more interesting. So what we are going to do, this is me teasing this feature, because I don't have a date, but it will be in the next 2 weeks.
Coming soon, trademark.
In the next 2 weeks, when you're logged into Gray Noise, you're going to get a little badge on the top that says Labs Beta, and it's going to be a link to our Gray Noise Labs API platform. And what this is a little API playground where our users can query the Labs data set, more or less, is what I'm going to call it. And included in this is C2 IP addresses that we've pulled out of the data. My little pull out of the data hands. We have popular IP addresses that people are querying, HTTP requests, and a few other things in there. But I know people are super hype about us pulling out potential C2 command and control infrastructure. And I think that will be a really fun one to look through for people. What we are not including in this is the full data set of those. It is less than 10% of the data, but that's, Gray Noise data sets are massive. So that's still a pretty significant amount of data. And, there's a little bit of a limit to how much you can do. You can't have, 10,000 requests in a day, but we're really excited to get that information out there and get some of this work that Labs has been doing in the background, customer facing, so that people can see it and,
see it, give some feedback, test it out, break it. I mean,
Yep.
there's beta tags everywhere on this, to be clear.
Yes.
Like beta.
So much beta.
So
no uptime promises.
Yeah, don't build a mission critical SOAR process around it, please. But
do all the research you want.
Yeah.
Labs is all about facilitating research, but maybe don't productionize it
yet. Yeah. No.
Let's
not yet. Not
yeah.
till that beta tag drops.
Yeah. Keep a lookout for the Labs API. I know the Labs team is excited. I'm excited. Everybody's excited.
Yeah. Awesome.
Yeah. So that's what's on the product horizon. I also feel obligated to hype, we're testing out these sensors that are going to be deployable in networks. And I hear y'all have networks. We have sensors, so get on the sensor testing list. If that's the kind of thing that you're into, honeypots and.
If you've been looking to have our sensors on your network, there's an email distribution to be had, and there's big news coming. Well, I mean, it's already out. I guess it's happening quite soon.
Yeah, exactly.
And then, go ahead. I was gonna say I wanted to plug. We do also have an open forum on Thursday for the community, which is at noon Eastern. So that's all over our socials and stuff as far as how to register for that. So if that's something that you're interested in, and you can see a lot more detail on roadmaps and what's up and coming, that would be something that you would want to watch. Awesome. Well, anything else, KImber? Or are we about to start this week with sunshines and rainbows?
I think it's going to be a great week of hearing more about Move It. And awesome. That's it. That's the vibes. That's the vibe check for this week.
Vibe check for this week. I like it.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we will start wrapping this up, and obviously keep an eye if you're affected by the Move It vuln.
Condolences.
Our thoughts are with you. Take care of your stuff. Do the like we said, do the look back for about 90 days to early March, and we will see everyone again next week. I will be out next week. There will be a surprise guest. Bob is obviously out this week. We upgraded Bob to KImber, so this might be permanent, actually. I haven't told him yet. We'll go from here. But have a great week, everyone.
Have a great week.